Bad Leroy Brown kicking it live and in direct effect at the NPC Junior Nationals in Chicago, Illinois with my man, the blockhead, Illinois bodybuilding and bodybuilding aficionado. You run Big Nation Radio, right?
I don't run it. I'm the co-host of Big Nation Radio. That would be run by Special Ed Jason Stern out of New York City.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about Big Nation Radio.
Big Nation Radio, we keep it real. Big Nation Radio, we have MD Noble Radio. We have Pro Bodybuilding Weekly. And then we have Big Nation. That's where we come in. We have no affiliates. We're not sponsored or under contract by anybody. And we keep it real. We are the one true Noble Radio.
And now, from what I understand, you guys get a lot of good information, so to speak, on a lot of going-ons in bodybuilding. Tell us some of the information that you're getting now about some of the events that's happening in bodybuilding, namely Dave Jacobs and Amanda Savell.
We were the only show that had Dave Jacobs as a guest. He came on our show 2 times. Amanda Savell was scheduled to come on a show next month. And she was going to come on the show because she wanted to blow the lid off of Lee Thompson. And Lee Thompson, we know, is the Texas NPC chairman. And she had quite a big story to tell about him. She spoke to me personally. We spoke on the phone live a couple times. And her whole purpose to come on the show was she wanted to talk about why she was not allowed to compete at the 2008 Arnold Classic. Despite her prep for the Classic, she got the invite. At the last second, she got a retraction on her invite. Her side of the story is because she would not sleep with this person, but I'm hearing different stories now, and I guess we'll never know the truth. Dave Jacobs, he was a friend of the show. I kind of befriended him back in January, and we kind of built a little bit of a relationship. Nothing business. It was more just Big Nation, more just getting some inside scoop. He was a pretty good source. He seemed to have a lot of good information. He was very heavily involved in the core of the bodybuilding industry and the dark side of the bodybuilding industry. And he came on the show 2 times. No other show wanted to touch him, but he had a lot to say. I don't know the guy personally. My side, I think he was a good guy. He did what he had to do, like all of us. But, also I hear a lot of conflicting stories about him.
Now, you say you're the only bodybuilding show to keep it real. Have you got any negative repercussions from like keeping it too real, like the whole Dave Chappelle thing when keeping it real goes wrong?
Yes. We get no support from any of the forums, any of the websites. Get Big was pretty much our launching pad. And it was going to be called Get Big Nation, originally. It was Get Big's answer to a bodybuilding show. But, Dan Solomon, Bob Ciccarello, who runs Pro Bodybuilding Weekly, they didn't like that. So we had to lose the Get, and we were just Big Nation. In the beginning, Ron Avidan gave us a lot of support. He allowed us to have a thread, have a sticky on the website. But after like a week or 2, that was removed. And we asked Ron why. It's because, Pro Bodybuilding Weekly, Muscle Tech, Dan and Bob, Ron Avidan, they all kind of go hand in hand. So we weren't allowed a sticky. We're only allowed to make a thread about it, but that's it. So no love for Big Nation. But now we're at the point, based on things we talk about, subjects we cover, we're at the point now where we're not even allowed to even mention Get Big. Mention Big Nation on GetBig.com. Ron gave us a warning that if we ever make a thread about it, we ever talk about it, that we will be banned.
Now, with all of the bodybuilding radio shows out there, how do you separate yourself from the rest? Because a lot of the material that comes out, it can get a little bit too oversaturated.
How we separate ourselves? We ask them questions that other shows won't ask them. We have no problem talking about drugs. We have no problem talking about any rumors, myths. We're hearing about these people. We have no problem going there. We pre-screen everybody, obviously. We kind of get an idea what they're comfortable and we're not comfortable with.
So you just don't take anybody, contrary to popular belief?
No, we don't. No, most people, after we interview them and screen them, they decide they don't want to come on the show. Because We're not going to be cookie cutter. We're not going to ask them what supplements they are taking. If we have a Jason Arndt on the show, we're not going to say, so, does that Gasperi 3-degree burn give you those abs? We're not going to talk about that. We're going to say, so tell us about your clenbuterol cycle. Tell us about what you're using to get ready. And he'll talk about it. Some guys are open, some guys aren't. So we pick the guys who are going to talk.
So what's this website called again?
BigNationRadio.com.
You've heard it here first. Bad Leroy Brown, the blockhead, signing off.